Now, tonight we had hoped to bring you a conversation with three incredible women who are doing much in their various capacities at the courts, in civil society, and indeed even at the county government level to save lives. Many Kenyans who are affected by gender-based violence at this time of COVID-19. But owing to a technical error on our part and not that of our guests, unfortunately, we'll have to defer this conversation to another time. So our sincere apologies to our guests and indeed to you, our viewers. However, as you know, Punchline is a political program, and politics has not been in short supply this week as the Senate became the battleground in the ever-evolving 2022 race. At the heart of the fake patriotism debate around the division of revenue bill is not the question of how much each county should get, but rather how much each politician can eat. And we opine thus because if we truly wanted an equal society, the answer would be plain to all on how revenue should be shared and how that said revenue should also be used. But what did vested interests and the political class do? Well, they made complex formulas, each one more perplexing than the next, not because the actual question of revenue allocation is that complex, but rather to cleverly disguise the theft that a few people plan to do once said revenue is allocated. Which is why tonight we declined the invitation to wade deeper into false arguments with false equivalence. The day we want to have a real conversation about how much we have and how do we share it, who has too much, who needs more, then we'll be happy to punch. So instead today we chose to focus on a matter that we know is on the president's mind and one where he has already given notice of intention to act on, that is the growing gender-based violence in the country. We have always held on this program that the highest office in Kenya is that of citizen of the Republic of Kenya. It therefore goes to reason that ultimately the future of Kenya is not only what happens at Harambee House or State House, it's what is happening in your house. You are raising Kenya. And the one institution where more and more a self-centered and secular society has devalued and desecrated is the institution of the family and the home. So this basic building block of Kenya that has now become more than just a theater of the absurd is also in the worst cases a crime scene and a war zone. We'd be fools to think that Kenya can move forward while Kenyan families rot. But President Kenyatta knows all this full well, which is why we laud him, because 1 month ago this week, he tasked a key office of a key ministry to find out what is going on. The president was right when he said, and I quote, "If the family is under attack, the state is under attack." And this is not just a catchphrase. Literally, without the family, there is no country. We had hoped, as I said earlier tonight, to bring you experts on the program, but again, because of that technical difficulty on our part, it was not possible. We will bring them back to you as soon as we can. However, we would still like to point this out, that some of the issues that are leading to violence at home range from mental health issues that go unchecked, gross inequality and greater strain on families and breadwinners. Others have also pointed to parents abdicating their role to guide their children, and some say the inability to walk away from a relationship that is not working. Well, there could be many more reasons. And whereas the state cannot police family values, it must take swift action to save Kenyan lives and end the criminal nature of what is now becoming an all too familiar Kenyan family horror story. And as we await the findings of the National Crime Research Center, many institutions will have an urgent role to play in saving the family and in saving the country. Our education system, for instance, must focus not just on grades and skills, but values as well. Our health system must invest heavily in mental health care. Our criminal justice system must deal with the necessary punishment for those abusers. Law enforcement must stop auctioning justice. Churches and faith groups should do more than just preach heaven, but also respond to the real needs of families here on earth. But to President Kenyatta, we say this. We know your intention is to act on this matter, sir. So when you do receive that report, you will have many recommendations that hopefully will change things in the future. But Your Excellency, tonight somewhere in Kenya, a Kenyan woman and her children can't afford to wait for ministries to undertake comprehensive reforms. This week, if that woman can't get to safety, she won't live to see another report launched or another policy written or any of that. The time to act is now, Mr. President. And of some of the many measures that are available to you right now is an audit of existing government-funded safe houses. You can also direct that upon receipt of the report from the Crimes Research Center, that there be an urgent evaluation of spending in ministries like internal security, gender, and even a look at the social services department, or indeed any other government agency or department, and that an emergency allocation be made to enhance the capacity of existing safe houses and to set up additional sites across the country. Indeed, this should be part of the government's larger COVID-19 response by dealing with the shadow pandemic as well. And because you are a practical man, Mr. President, sir, we know that you too are projects that are close to your heart. So one impromptu visit from you could lead to the saving of countless lives. Speak to these survivors firsthand and to credible individuals and organizations that are at the forefront of caring for survivors. The clock is ticking for someone, and if they don't get safety tonight, then tomorrow Kenya could wake up to just another horror story. And we are certain that if the administration sends a clear signal that it will protect those at risk of sexual and gender-based violence and punish abusers, there will be Kenyans of goodwill and development partners lining up to lend their support. But finally, if tonight your life or that of a loved one is in danger, call the government's hotline 1195. It's a 24-hour toll-free line, so you won't have to pay. Again, that number is 1195. There'll be someone on the other end of that line who can walk you through what steps you can take to get to safety tonight. I'm Kiguta. Thanks for watching.